I think we could all use more budget-friendly OTFs in our lives, and that is exactly what I have right here. Bam! Look at that thing. This is the SOS. What am I talking about here today? Too much coffee. SOS knives. You can see the little Morse code thing right there. Mayhem OTF. What's really sick about this is that I only paid $100 for this thing. 99 bucks over at Blade HQ a while back. You may have 99 problems, but this knife is not going to be one of them in blade performance, but we're going to find out if handle ergonomics is where it maybe might have some issues. We're going to find out today. And a lot of people ask me all the time, why are OTFs so expensive? Because usually you're starting in around 200 and they go up from there. And for the materials, you can get comparable normal pocket knives for like 50 to 100 bucks less. Well, the reason is that the R&D that goes into making one of these needs to be compensated back to the company, and then there has to be a market for it. In most countries, good luck trying to get an OTF, and a lot of states do not allow OTFs. So there's a much smaller pool for companies to pull from and potentially get buyers from than your normal just manual folder that's of similar size, right? So they have to, compensate for that by jacking up the price. So yeah, a normal D2 steel pocket knife should be like 50 bucks, right? But when you put it in OTF form, you got to offset the R&D, the features, and all that, because you're just going to have way less people able to actually carry it and even get it shipped to you. So just a little food for thought there for you. Now, what I really liked for this is the blade shape. That blade shape is sick. The pattern is awesome, and it is really well done. They really did a good job for utility, EDC profile. I have pocket knives from other manufacturers that are not going to perform quite like this in the sense of its grind geometry and then just the style. Very, very cool. I know they have a couple different blade shapes and profiles you can go with. And let's make sure here. Yep, 3 inches from handle to tip, exactly. So if you have legal limits, that is a big selling point as well. And this is going to be about 1/8 of an inch thick, and it even has a sharp 90-degree spine. Not that you're going to be using this to survive, but if you had to throw sparks off that spine, you absolutely could. Now, as we look at functionality, because I have owned many OTFs, and I have even owned a Microtech Ultratech, which many people are like, if you were to ask me, how does this trigger function and operate compared to that, I'm going to let you know here in just a moment. But I've been wanting to step up my field watch game for a while now, and I've had my eye on their watches for some time, and I was recently able to partner with them and got the C5 Field Tactical watch, and I want to share with you a few reasons on why this design has stood out to me. One, it's solar powered, so it runs on light and almost never needs a battery change. Number 2 is its guaranteed waterproof warranty down to 10 ATM, which stands for atmospheres, which is a fancy way of saying down to 100 meters, with its screwed down crown, making it perfect for those of us who love our water sports. Now, I know many of you are like me and can be rough on your gear, and that's where number 3 comes in with its scratch-resistant sapphire crystal face. Number 4, with its Japanese solar movement and full USA assembly, it's one of the few watches at this price point that carries this unique designation. And you guys know me, I love customizing my gear, and that's where number 5 comes in, because it will ship with your choice of 2 quick change straps, giving you more versatility and customization options for different environments and occasions. So there you have it, guys. Those are just a few of the characteristics that the C5 Tactical Field watch from Veer has going on, and I'm totally digging it. And so I will have a link popping up here as well as in the description box below where you can go learn more, not only about this watch, but many other designs that they also carry, so you can have an excellent timepiece for all of your adventures. So the switch, right? How does that function? Well, this is what I'm learning more and more is you got to look at geometry. Are they using geometry or are they using texture? If they're using texture, it's going to suck, especially if the spring is stiff. The spring is not super stiff on this. I can easily manipulate this right here all day. And this has very light, mild jimping ribs on there. And they're using geometry, which is excellent. So very easy to do, boom, hits the blade, falls right out. Can I reset it? No, I got to use 2 hands to reset this one. Boom. But there you go. That's the safety feature. And excellent. I have zero complaints with it. Doesn't raw out my hand like my Ultratech. My Ultratech was so stiff, and the ramp for the switch is so low. They're using texture over geometry. It just isn't fun to use. This is addicting. This I can run all day long, and I like it without any issue or problem. So, functionality, surprisingly $100 OTF, in my opinion, mechanism of deployment is more enjoyable to use than a $300 Microtech Ultratech. That's my mileage. Your mileage may vary. Leave a comment below and let me know. Now, as we go to pocket clip, this is righty only. That's a downside. They should have put a screw right there attachment so they could swap it. So this is for righties only. High ride, so it makes it easy to deploy. That's good for an OTF because you're probably using it in more of an self-defense role, or potentially. And then the pocket clip is not bad, but it's not great. It's not loop over. It's definitely got some tension there. It could kind of like protrude it if you got like reinforced pants. So I would say it's 50-50. I'll give it 50%. Could have been better. Not the worst pocket clip I've seen, but that's my take on that. Now, as we look at ergonomics, this is really what we're going to have to consider here. Now, the ergonomics are 4.5. Yeah, 4.5. The upper portion and shoulder, we see this a lot on OTFs, is actually really good. And that aluminum, they've rounded it. Not quite as rounded as some I've seen. And most OTFs are kind of squared off anyway. But one of the competitive options I'm going to run here in just a moment, the shoulder's a little more rounded. This drop would have been just fine. This cut-in is super weird. I'm going to be honest with you. We got jimping here that's not sharp, but we got this shoulder that then drops and then raises up again. And so what ends up happening when I grip the tool in my hand at 4.5 inches, as I said, my large size hands, boom, my two middle fingers kind of float there, and it just doesn't, it always has felt weird to me. Ergonomically, it's weird. It's just weird, man. And I kind of regret that. And especially if you deploy the switch like this, it becomes a 3-fingered knife just because of the way this is, whereas naturally I kind of want to hang out right here, but I can't. And it just feels odd. They should have done like either just cut in and just left it, or even a drop angle down, matching the upper shoulder, like matched that, and not added this. I don't know. So it's not awesome. I'm going to be honest. The ergonomics, it's just weird to me. I want to know if you guys own one of these. Everything else about the knife, especially the grind and the action, are delicious and very nutritious for usage, but the ergonomics just leave definitely something to be desired for me, and I just don't carry it that often because of that reason. So competitive options now because of that, and as I said, $100, links popping up. SCHRADE, SCHRADE, the UPROAR series, previously reviewed, video popping up here, $100 or less, D2 steel as well, and ambidextrous pocket clips, better pocket clips. You got two options. You got a double-edged dagger, partly serrated, or you have a single-edged bayonet style. Let's see if I can get those. There we go. Hopefully focusing in. But yeah, same steel quality. Excellent action, very, very good action. Now, the blade is going to be way better for everyday carry and utility tasks on the SOS than it is on the UPROARs. These are definitely designed for stabbing first and slicing second. But the ergonomics are better because there's no weird drop-ins and cut-ins ergonomically, and the shoulders are a little more rounded. Ergonomically feels better. Pocket clips are ambi and better in my opinion. The only real thing after you look at it that way that the SOS has is a better grind and blade shape. I'd love to see the UPROARs come with some wider blades like that. That'd be super sick at some point. But so I would say it comes in second compared to the SCHRADE UPROAR, the SOS Mayhem. But leave a comment below. I'd love to know what you guys think and what your guys' take is on this particular budget-friendly OTF. And if you know of other budget OTFs you want me to test out and review here at the channel, give me a shout out in the comments. I'd love to know, and I'll try and get my hands on. Appreciate you guys. Check out the other videos, subscribe, and until next time, always remember to stay equipped, stay prepared, and I'll see you out there.